Hi, welcome to my podcast, Light and Dove Knits. My name is Whitney. This is a knitting and crochet podcast. This is episode 8. I thought I would quit before this, but so far so good. I like doing this. It's so much fun. Meeting actually new people and being in the knitting community. It's really, really fun. But I'm enjoying this. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this podcast. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to returning viewers. Thank you for coming by again. I also want to give out a thank you to new viewers. Thank you for dropping by my podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe if you like this podcast. It really means a lot to me. Just hope you like it. Subscribe, like this video. But welcome everybody. I hope you had a good day, wonderful day, week. I've been kind of busy this past month and a half, mostly with my girls and just life in general. I have a 3-year-old, almost 4 years old. She, I don't know when I'll post this. Today is October 1st. Hey, happy October, everyone. But her birthday is coming up in a couple days, so she'll be turning 4. And then I have a 20-month-old. So it's been quite busy a little bit with 2 little ones. And also, I feel like haven't been knitting as much and crocheting as much lately. I don't know, I've just been in a rut. I just don't have the kick to go do some knitting, but I feel like I'm getting my mojo back, and I'm knitting more and more each day and actually feeling the fun of it again. I do have a few finished objects to share with you. I'm hoping this will be a shorter episode because I feel like I have a lot of future knitting that I haven't got the chance to make yet. But right now for this episode I have just a couple of FOs and a couple of whips, some future knitting. I just have a lot of future knitting that I really want to do. Either selfish knitting or the people want some stuff, which I don't mind doing. But hopefully it will be a shorter episode than my other episodes because I don't want to take too much of your time. But I'm having so much fun doing this, so let's get to it. I guess I should tell you what I'm drinking today. I have it in my Minnie Mouse mug, because I love Minnie Mouse. I love everything Disney. I wanted my coffee in a special mug today, because I'm podcasting. I didn't think I would be podcasting right now. It's also been a month since I last podcasted, because I have something I'll share with you guys later on if you're interested, but I feel like I'm not going to have another podcast in a month or so, or like this month either, depending, but I thought I have enough time right now to record one at least, and hopefully I'll get this out within the week. I have my coffee and had some candy earlier, so hopefully I'm lively for you guys. Before I do the finished objects, I forgot to share with you where you can follow me. On Instagram, I'm Light Dove Knits, and on Facebook, I'm Light and Dove Knits. I'm mostly more active on Instagram than I am on Facebook. I'm hardly on Facebook nowadays. I'm not even in my personal account. I feel like I just needed to take a break from Facebook, from all the stuff that I've been reading, a lot of doom scrolling, I guess. But Instagram, I'm just sticking with Instagram right now. So whenever I'm posting something, I do go on Facebook just for that, but that's about it. When you contact me, it's via Instagram or my email address in case you have any questions. Because I don't have a Ravelry account. I use Ravelry just to look for some patterns if I need some, but I'd rather not have a Ravelry account. I don't feel a need right now. But so far it's just Instagram. But all the details are on the bottom, also in the description box. And please feel free to follow me. I like meeting new people. So let's get to it. My finished objects. I have 3 finished objects to show you today. So here's my first one. This may look familiar to you because I've done it in another color. And if you haven't seen this before, you can check back on my last episode where I was able to test knit this pair. Ooh, isn't it so pretty? Look at all the colors. So this was my last pair. So this was my last sock. This was a test knit for the designer. Her name is Kelsey Garner. Her Instagram handle is Knitting Nikabi, I believe. Everything, if I don't say her name right, but I put everything down here anyways, so you know where to look her up. Because I highly suggest you, if you make socks, you can make this pair. So this is the first pair I made for her test knit. So, but I also wanted to make another pair because I really wanted to do like actually this original pair, this color, but I thought be better if I did a really contrasted color. So I have 2 completed pairs of socks. Same pattern, but different colors, and I thought these colors were really they complement each other, I think. So this color, this is actually from a, is it? No, I got this at my local yarn store. It's called Brookline Yarns. It's actually a homespun house. You know, Molly from the homespun house. She has a podcast and she's a yarn dyer. She has beautiful yarns. I think everyone knows who she is. But yeah, she has this pretty yarn. I still have some yarn left over, so I can't wait to use it again because it's really squishy. It's fingering weight yarn, and it's the colorway is Mr. Darcy's Letters. It's something from Pride and Prejudice, and the darker color is actually Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Hollyberry, fingering weight as well. So yeah. Okay, these are really comfortable. I'm a size 6 foot. Have a size 6 foot. I did so they were pretty quick to knit up because I have small feet. I did 72 cast on. Just a simple long tail cast on, and the heel flap and gusset, whatever this is called, this type of heel. I highly suggest you do this pattern. It's really fun if you're into color work, which I love to do. That was actually one of my goals this year, is to do color work, and I did it. It's really fun. I did use size needles. I did use size 2 needles, which is a 2.75 millimeters. They fit really well and really squishy and feel really comfortable because of the yarn. But the pattern is great too, so I highly suggest you get the pattern as well. So I have 2 pairs of socks for the winter. Sorry if I'm a little bit fumbly today. I haven't podcasted in a long time, so I know I say this every episode. Maybe that's just me all the time. But anyways, my next project is, it's called, I done this before, but I had to redo it because it didn't really fit the size of because I was supposed to knit it for like a 10. I think she's 10, but knitting it for a friend and for her little girl, but I think it was a little bit too small or just right on her, so I made it slightly bigger. But I did it before, so it was a whip, a finished object, a whip again, and now it's a finished object. But it's called the Honey Hat by Hannah Fedig. So yeah, I like the honeycomb pattern. But the original pattern is for like a DK weight, I believe. And I highly suggest you do a DK weight or maybe even smaller, because I felt like it was really tough on the hands to do worsted weight. But maybe it was just the yarn anyways, because this is it's called Big Twist Yarns from Joann's in the colorway Gold. And you can just feel like, because a majority of their yarns is acrylic sometimes, and I do like Red Heart, but I felt like it was just too plasticky. I don't know, it was just really hard on the hands for me to do the honeycomb stitch, which actually came out really beautiful. I like the definition of it after a wash, but I don't know. I did use my Chiago needles for the brim, a size 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter, and then for the body of the hat, a US size 7. So yeah, you should do this one too if you're into hats. It worked up pretty fast. Like again, it hurt my hands just because I was just the yarn and all that. But yeah, so hopefully she likes it. Really neat up close. Okay, and my last finished object for today. So I've done this last year. I think I want to look up when my first podcast episode was, because I feel like it's been a year now. I think exactly a year, maybe. Today's October 1st, like I said. So I know I recorded in October, and I think I posted, or I posted my first YouTube video in October. Maybe it's my anniversary. Happy anniversary to me, I think. So woohoo if it is. But I'm not sure if I showed this in that episode, or I did it before I did an episode, and then before the YouTube, I at the same time I came up with a knitting Instagram specifically for my knitting stuff, and I'm not sure if I did it on my private Instagram or my public. Either way, this is what I did last year for the month of October. I thought it was really cute. I made a lot of them because a lot of people wanted some, so I was like, okay, have some. And so it's called Frankenstein by Vincent. He goes on Instagram by Not Bad. which I think is a creative name, by the way. But yeah, this is Frankenstein, little Frankie, I call him. And this is such a really easy pattern to do. I like all his crochet patterns. They're just really cute because they have like this little cute face, and I think there's a term for it, I'm not sure, but all his patterns are really cute, easy to make, easy to follow. Some of his patterns are free, but I think or you can get some stuff in bundles. I think he is free, I'm not sure. I highly suggest you make one because he's so cute and very simple. I used Red Heart Super Saver yarn because I already had this in my stash, so luckily it worked out for me. And in black, gray, and in chocolate brown. I think this one is actually Loops and Threads chocolate brown because I had some brown left over from the Bernie mittens I made. But like he also has like stitches on his hair for his head, and a little stitch right here, and yeah, the little bolts. It's so cute. I love it. If you want to make a couple more patterns of his, but I highly suggest you check out his website, his Instagram. But yeah, and I also used a size hook G, which is a 4mm. He's alive. And that's it for my finished objects. Like I said, I didn't do a whole lot. Like I lost my knitting mojo and all that stuff. Now I'm slowly getting back into it. So yeah, so that's why I have a little bit of finished objects, but a whole lot of whips and a lot of future knitting. Now it's time for works in progress. So I already showed you this a long time ago, or last episode, and I honestly don't remember some of the stuff I put on my podcast, so sometimes I have to go back on my notes. But I know you have seen this before. And I also posted it on my Instagram too, so some people should be familiar with this. So this is called The Mount Pleasant Tea by Megan Nodecker. She also goes by, on Instagram, Pip and Pin. She also has a website too by Pip and Pin. But the designer, her name is Megan Nodecker. But yeah, here it is, my top. Looks like a, I just put it in my mouth. So it looks like a plain shirt, which is what I really wanted to do, just a simple knit, because this is actually my first top I've ever made. It looked really simple and very elegant, because here, there's just the sleeves. I've done the sleeves. And then the bottom is really pretty. That's what I liked about it. It was simple and classic. So yeah, it was a nice little lace work right there, and it's really pretty. And the colorway, I love how the yarn knitted up. Got this from Knit Picks. The yarn is called Hawthorn in the colorway Conifer. So yeah, it's really knitting up nicely. But as you can see, I haven't finished it because it's still on the needles, because I'm on the collar, and that's the last bit I need to do. So this is the collar, right? I literally need 5 more rows to finish this collar and finish the shirt completely before I need to block it. But lucky me, I lost that yarn chicken. This is all I have left of the shirt, and I literally just have 5 more rows to do. So yeah, so I guess I had to go out or I had to order some more yarn, which should come in tomorrow, October 2nd. So then I'll be able to finish this shirt. But I was like, I thought I had enough. I guess I calculated wrong. I don't know, probably because I don't do math well. But yeah, so I'm almost done with it. So hopefully next episode it will be done and wearable. So yeah, it was really pleasant to knit up. But yeah, so yeah, this was really fun. And I probably in the future I would make it in a different color, because I just like how it knitted up and stuff, and it's just really pretty. Like even in her picture, it was a goldenrod color, and I love goldenrod like on myself, and so I might make one for in that color because it looks so pretty. But I did use a US size 4 for the ribbing, and then a US size 6. It actually called for a size 5, but then I did a gauge and I actually needed to go up a size, so I used a US size 6 or 4mm. So yeah, really good pattern. I love it. So my next whip, it's actually Paco the Peacock by Amigurumi Today. So here's a picture. I'll show you a picture because right now it's I still have just the top of his head and I need to undo it because I thought maybe going up a size will be slightly bigger, but I think it's a little bit too big. So I just have the top of the head and it's like this big, and then I feel like it's gonna be like a huge peacock where I want it to be just a smaller one, but I'm going where the pattern says and do a size E hook. So, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarn, but I'm making it for my daughter, which I should actually I should have been done with it this week because her birthday's coming up. So I'll actually be working on it after this podcast because I should be done with it before her birthday, because she loves peacocks. We go to the Arboretum. That's like 15 minutes away from our house, and she loves the peacocks. She doesn't like going near them, but she talks about them all the time. So I thought I would make a little doll for her, and so I should really work on it right now. But so as soon as this is done, I'm gonna start working on the peacock. But yeah, so I have nothing to show you about the peacock, but just watch out for that next episode, and hopefully I'll have it finished. So yeah, then I'll move on to my last whip. This is actually a test knit. I am allowed to show you because she said I can post stuff on Instagram about it, which I haven't done yet, but I will this week. But the designer, her name is Sophia. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a designer. She also podcasts. She goes by the name of The Drunk Knitter. I'll put all her information right here. She has a lot of cute stuff. I just like her patterns. She mostly uses like things you can buy at Joann's and Michael's, yarns like worsted weight yarns, and she makes patterns out of those, something easy to do. And I highly suggest you check out her website and her Instagram. But I am test knitting for her. And so for those of you who haven't seen my any prior episodes, I had like a New Year's resolution things to do for this year, and one of them was to be a test knitter. And my first test knit was those socks that I showed you earlier, the funny pair socks. And so that was really fun. And then so I'm getting the ball rolling about being a test knitter. So when Sophia had a testing call, I said, sign me up. And I liked how it was yarns that are easy accessible, and I can get them like go to Joann's the same day and buy the yarn already because I was picked. And it's been actually really, really fun to do in a random bag. I think it was like my husband's coworker. I think she just had extra bags, and then my husband said like, "Oh, my wife can use a couple more bags." So I have two of these. So yeah, a bag's a bag. But I do in the future want to get some actual project bags from small businesses. So specifically by Stitched Below, I'll put down her info right there. She has a lot of cute project bags. Also some of it is like a project bag that matches a mask. She also makes masks, and they're really, really cute designs. So check her out too. So yeah, this is how I actually started it on last week. And I have 4 weeks to do this, but this is actually an easy knit, and it's knitting up fast. But I had to redo it because I messed up, and I really wanted to do a color change, and then I messed it up, and then I had to start all over again because I ripped back, and I was just getting frustrated with it. Just use your error, not the pattern. But this is how far I've gotten. It is a cardigan. And I love the colors. So this is actually it's beginner friendly. So I haven't done a cardigan before. But I really wanted to have like a house coat, I really wanted like a house jacket, a house cardigan. Sometimes it gets cool in here, and I just want a nice light jacket or cardigan to wear around the house. And I thought this was fun to do. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's Lion Brand's Wool Ease in the colorway Fisherman. And this is actually in the colorful, what makes it the rainbow. I'm using Lion Brand's Mandala in the colorway Troll. I just like the colors. She suggested this colorway called Nifflers, and I wanted to try it. I wanted to buy it right away because I really like the colors, but Joann's didn't have it. Michael's didn't have it. It was just sold out unless you buy it at the Lion Brand website. but I kind of didn't want to buy the shipping prices, so I went with another colorway, which I like it as much too. It's really really cool. I like it. I'm also using I also have this Progress Keeper by Woolen Forest. I think she goes by Woolen Forest Charms, I believe. All the info is down below. It's a little amethyst container. It's really really pretty. I have a couple more of her Progress Keepers, and I really wanted to do. She just recently had a shop update, but I wasn't able to grab any of the Halloween styled goodies. So next time. Like I said, her charms are pretty popular. She's a pretty popular podcaster too. I love her podcast. I think the pattern releases in the end of October. I think the 24th, which is actually, I think it's enough time for this cardigan because, like I said, it's really easy, really simple, and I just like how it is knitted up. So when it comes out, you should do it too. Yeah, that's about it. What I'm doing. Like I said, hopefully it's gonna be a shorter episode, which it is, because my goal for this podcast is like maybe 30-minute podcast, but I've been kind of reaching over like 45 minutes. I think one episode's been an hour. Do you like hour-long podcasts? I tend to like 30 minutes, but hour is fine. But my goal for my podcast, I would like it to be a 30-minute one. But like I said, I like doing this kind of stuff and talking about my projects and sharing what I'm doing, so that way maybe you would want to knit like socks or a cardigan, give you some inspiration for your next project. So yeah, that's why I like doing this podcast. Mainly just because I just want to be in the knitting community. I've said this before, like a bunch of times before in prior podcasts as well. But I just like to be immersed in this knitting community because it felt like it's very supportive. And it's just nice meeting other people from different states, out of the country, and it's really neat. I never thought there was something like this. Like, I had this hobby for 17 years, and I'm barely, in the last 5 years, I found a knitting group, and now I didn't know there was this whole knitting community via Instagram. So I think that's why it's so great having this sort of technology, especially nowadays, where we kind of need that support. We need people who share this lovely hobby and being with other crafty people. So it's really cool. Thank you so much for even like watching this episode, and I just appreciate it so much. Again, thank you. I'm not pushing you to subscribe either, so I feel very grateful if you want to subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe, you can follow me on Instagram if you like. But anyways, I just thank you so much for all of you. I don't have a lot of acquisitions to show you today. I do have a couple, but I'm not sure if this person watches my podcast. I think they said they do on occasion, but I don't want to, because this is a gift. And I did buy yarn a month ago, and I just want to show you one skein of yarn. And hopefully it doesn't give it away, but I bought this because I saw this pattern and I must do it because I know that person will like it. But I got on webs.com, I think. It's Cascade Yarns in the colorway Christmas Red. So yeah, here I'm showing you this color. It's nice and bright, but it will come together with the other color that I have. So yeah, that's all that I'm gonna say. And so just watch out for future episodes when I can, which will probably like after Christmas. So stay tuned. So that leads me to my last segment, which is my future knitting. So I actually have like last time, I think there was two patterns that I want to make by the same maker. So and this is actually the same thing, but she goes by the name on Instagram Mezzo Makes, and she also has an Etsy page and a Ravelry. She recently came out with a design that's really really cute, and I really want to make it. But it's called the 9 to 5 bodysuit, and it's really really cool because it's really really pretty. I think I'll put a picture here right here, but or not, depends. But it's really really pretty, It does have like a UU snaps for the bottom of the bodysuit. It's like really tightly fitted. It depends on, I guess, how you want to design, how you want to because I think it's really form fitting as well. And on all the test knitters, they look really, really good in it. So I just thought it was a really nice pattern to make, because I really just want to delve into more garment knits for myself and start building up a wardrobe full of knitwear. But I already have the yarn for it. I just had to, so when before I said, when I was making my Mount Pleasant tee, I actually bought a couple more skeins of this color. It's not that extravagant. It's a Knit Pick Swish in the colorway black. But I'm gonna make the 9 to 5 bodysuit in black. I was actually using this for a different pattern, which I don't want to bring it up right now, but I decided to change my mind and not do it. So I have this left over, so it was perfect. I just need 2 more skeins to make the bodysuit. But yeah, it's DK weight yarn, and so I haven't used DK weight. I don't think I've ever used DK weight. I probably have. I think, like baby stuff, I think. But I'm just excited to use it. So yeah. So I'm excited for this make. I think I'm gonna make this after I completely finish my Mount Pleasant top. And then by the same maker, the same designer, she also has I think it was like one of her first like designs ever, because it's called the Brookline dress. No, not the dress. The Brookline blouse. And the suggested yarn, she had a couple of suggested yarns, but one of them was True Boot by Lion Brand, and I really wanted to work with that yarn too. So, and I thought this would be a nice color. I really wanted to make it for during the summer, because I think it's a nice summery top, but oh well, doesn't matter. I'm still gonna make it and wear it next spring / summer. But yeah, so I already have the yarn for that. It's in the colorway Coral, so watch out for those. And I can't wait. So I highly suggest you check out the designer Mezzo makes. And she also, for the Brookline blouse, she also has a Brookline dress. So that's pretty neat. I'm gonna make that in the future as well. There's just so much stuff out there that I want to knit. There's also a brioche shawl that I want to make, but I don't know how to do brioche. So hopefully soon. I think that's one of my things that I want. That's my New Year's resolution, is to learn how to do brioche. I think that was actually my last one, and it was kind of iffy because I'm kind of scared to do brioche knitting. But I really want to make that shawl, which I completely forgot what it's called, but I'll talk about it later in the later episode. But so far, this is what I want to make: the 9 to 5 bodysuit and the Brookline blouse. So yeah, so I'm excited. I'm also making some socks. I didn't know whether to put this in my whip section or my future knitting, because it's actually a knit along. It's called the Spooky, or is it a make along? I think it's a make along. It's a spooky something. I'll put the hashtag right here, but it's it's hosted by Crazy Sock Lady, Moonglow Yarns, and Nitty Natty. Well, Natalie she goes by the name on Instagram, Nitty Natty. She also has a podcast as well. Crazy Sock Lady has a podcast as well, but it's hosted by those 3 women, and it's a month-long knit along, because you're supposed to be making anything spooky because it's Halloween, and you have to wear your socks by the time Halloween comes around. So this is my future, and you're supposed to, and it started today, October 1st. It started October 1st, so actually, which is today for me. It's today, so I need to cast on today. So I have it in my newest bag. For people who follow me on Instagram, this one might look familiar. This is actually supposed to be a cosmetic bag, but I thought it was really pretty, and I needed to get it for my knitting stuff. And I might switch it out. I might go out and buy like a Halloween bag, because I really want it to be all Halloween themed. So yeah, so here's the bag. So I forgot what I should be more prepared for this, but I do have a pattern. I think it's called the Happy Haunt Socks by Valerie. Starts with a V, but all the info is right here on the screen. But it's more, she says on the description, it's more of like a sock formula rather than a pattern. but let's see how it goes. It's mostly for toe up, and that's also one of my resolutions. It's that I have done cuff down, and I've never done toe up socks before, so I really want to learn that and see how that goes, to see whether I like toe up or cuff down. So this is for like the body of the sock, and the pattern has like little ghosties all over, so it is color work, and I love color work. And I think I'm gonna make this in obviously I think this is Patton's Croy in black, and this is also Patton's as well. And I want to say I used this yarn before. Frustrated me, I don't remember, but yeah, this yarn for the ghosties. Do like a dark, I wasn't sure whether to do a bright purple, and I didn't want to go out and get some like new yarn, so I wanted something that I already had in hand. So I'm just gonna use this purple. So I think it will go. It doesn't really matter, they're socks. I'm just gonna use that color. So that'll be interesting. So I'm really excited for this pair of socks. So I need to do that too and cast on. and watch a couple of YouTube videos on how to do a Turkish cast on, because that'll be actually a new thing too, a new cast on for me. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so watch out for those. So hopefully it turns out okay. And there wasn't a particular needle size either, so I think I'm going to use a 1.5. I've been using size 2, so I might be doing that for the safe bet, especially since it's color work and there's ghosties all over it. So we'll see. I'll let you know. So that's about it for my knitting stuff. If you want to stick around for life stuff, then stick around. If not, thank you so much for coming. Please follow me at Light Dove Knits, and please subscribe if you want. So for the people who want to listen to my life happenings, I just have a couple of stuff that's coming up. Well, first off, any Lost fans out there? I talked about this in my past episode, but I'm actually it's my first time watching the show Lost, and it's really, really good. Actually, we just started season 5. Season 4 in the beginning was but then it got better. But I'm on season 5. I'm almost done, and I can't wait to know the secrets because it's driving me nuts. That's the show I'm watching. So that's that. But one major thing that's happening in my life right now, I'll put a timestamp here in case you don't want to hear about hospital stuff, surgery, and gallbladder stuff. So in case you don't want to hear it, you can just go to that time mark in case you don't want to hear it at all. So yeah, gallbladder. So I've been having some health issues, I guess. I'll be going into surgery this upcoming Monday, October 4th. And so that's going to be fun. I have been having a problem. It all started in the very beginning. Just kidding. It all started maybe like a month ago. I've been having this pain in my upper stomach area, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And it really, really hurt. From the pain scale from 1 to 10, it was probably a 6. It was happening every time I ate my favorite things, which was pizza. Well, not so much pizza. It was actually hamburger. It was actually red meat that bothered my stomach. And hamburgers are like my favorite thing ever. But it really upset my stomach after eating hamburger. And then it just kind of progressed into much more pain. From the scale from 1 to 10, it was probably 8 to 9. Because it was like 3 weeks ago I had to go to urgent care because the pain was so bad. I was doubled over in pain and crying. And so I was getting pain in my upper stomach all the way to my back area. So I was like, this is not good. I have to go in because something's really wrong with me. And so I had to go to urgent care, and sure enough, I was fine up until the point where I had to go to get an ultrasound done. And so that's what kind of freaked me out, but that's what they told me after I have gallstones. And then fast forward and talking to a doctor, and they said my gallbladder is bad enough that they have to take it out completely. So today I also had an appointment. I had to take a blood test, and they gave me all what's going to happen before surgery, what I should do before surgery the day of, where I should check in and all that stuff. And I had to take a COVID test just so that way it's procedure before a major surgery like that. Well, not really major. I don't know. A surgery just to make sure I'm negative, which I am. I'm negative. I mean, I haven't had the test back, but I haven't had any contact with people who had COVID, and so luckily my family hasn't had any COVID, thank goodness. But praying for those who do. But so that's what I had a busy morning this morning, and so So yeah, I'll be having surgery on Monday. Just send me some of your good thoughts, prayers, what have you, anything. And I'm not too scared about surgery really, because I had 2 C-sections. So I feel like I've gone through pain before. I've done surgery before. I feel like I've done it all. I'm not too scared about surgery. So just send me good vibes. I guess I should be. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but it's just a typical. I've always hear people always getting their gallbladder taken out, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm more worried about like the aftercare, because my little girl, my youngest one, she loves to climb on me. She's really attached to me, and I'm just afraid that or hurt her feelings that I don't want her on me, because obviously I don't want her hitting my my incision site. But we'll see how that's gonna happen, how that's gonna work. But anyways, that is all my talk. That's what's happening to me in a couple days. So yeah, fun. So hopefully I'll be able to rest and do some knitting at least. Yeah, so that's what's happening in my life right now. I'm just kind of mostly sad that we were supposed to go to the zoo to celebrate my my oldest one's birthday, but that's scrapped because of my surgery date. But then it's also a blessing in disguise too, because my husband took off Monday and Tuesday, and he's just going to request Wednesday so he can take care of me. He'll be my driver to and from, and be taking care of me from those days. So yeah. And then my mother-in-law's going to take care of me Thursday and Friday as well, which hopefully I'll be able to be better at the end of the week. Obviously I'll be sore towards the end of the week, but I still need help with the girls. So yeah, that is all. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what you think about the projects, what you're working on. I like to know what you're working on, so that way I can look it up, and I can do the projects as well. Maybe do a future knit along. I also kind of want to do a little celebration too, a little whoop whoop, because I reached 210 followers on my Instagram. So I'm really happy with that number. I didn't think that I would have that high of a number. So I really appreciate for those people who are following me on Instagram. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, woo woo. Maybe I'll do a giveaway somehow. I'm still thinking of ways to do a giveaway, when to do it, what numbers I should reach and stuff like that. So we'll see. Thank you so much for watching though. I really appreciate it. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at LightDoveKnits, or Facebook, Light and Dove Knits. I'll put everything down below. And yeah, that's it. I just hope you're having a good day, good week, good month. I wish you all the best. Sending you love. Happy knitting. Bye. And that's blah, blah, blah.